this video, we're going to take another look at an add-on package for Elementor, and it's called Essential Add-ons. It also just happens to be the #1 most installed add-on package available for Elementor, their free version, and it's on 200,000 websites right now, so it's about time we take a look at it, but we're going to go way further than that. I have done several reviews of add-on packages, but I think what's important is also to test the performance and speed impact of an add-on package so you can decide whether the additional capabilities this add-on pack is going to give you, whether it's worth it depending on the performance impact that it adds to your website. So we're going to test that live in this video as well together. And so if helpful Elementor related videos like this are important to you, consider giving this video a thumbs up right now, a subscribe, and click on that notification bell, and YouTube is going to let you know when I upload new videos like this that might be a benefit to you. So we're going to head on over to their website, go to WPCrafter.com/essential add-ons, and I'll have a link to that their website in the video description box down below. So here we are on their website, and we're going to try to take a look through and see what's in the free version, what's in the pro version. We'll look at what the cost is. We'll take a look at it, some of the features of the plugin, and then we'll do those speed tests, which I'm very much looking forward to myself. Okay, so we're scrolling down. The first thing we're going to come across is the regular pricing. Looks like this is normally $100, and just right now while I'm recording, it's discounted to $60. I'm going to see if I can get a coupon though for you to make that even lower. And that is an unlimited license. Now right here, you can also get it for one website, and it's only $30 for a single website installation. Now as I scroll down, it's going to show us a list of what's available in the free version of this plugin. And you can see it already has some very useful additional modules, and it offers 29 additional modules in this free version. They're very useful. Advanced tabs, I already know for me, I would have a use for something like this right now. You get pricing tables, you get galleries, post timeline, and this is actually very interesting to find this in a free add-on package, and that's a countdown timer. So it's all pretty good. Now, when we scroll down, we see what you get in the premium package. So this is kind of what you're paying for, other than supporting the developer and for getting access to paid support. This is what you get. So you get pop-ups, and this is nice. So you can have it, it'll create a button, and you can have content in a pop-up, or you can have like a video in a pop-up, whatever you want in that pop-up. You can have that. We have some interesting things like interactive promo, interactive cards. One-page navigation is actually really cool. So if you have a one-page website and it's those navigation dots that would be like on the right or the left-hand side of the page, it's pretty good. Image comparison, content toggle, that's really cool. You see that a lot with pricing tables. And we have protected content. And this is actually very unique. I haven't seen this anywhere. So you can have a bit of content that's either password protected or only when someone's logged into your website and they have a certain user account, then they'll be able to see that content. That's also quite interesting. Testimonial sliders, logo sliders, post block, Instagram feed, that's pretty cool. Parallax and particle effects. Not a big fan of particle effects personally, but a lot of people do like that. Advanced tooltip. Tooltips are actually, it's a very useful feature. And image hotspots. And I think if I click here, let's see, I think it might take me to the full list. Yeah, it's taking me to the full list of features that it adds. And so you could come here and check it out. We're going to check it out inside of the plugin right now anyways. Oh, and they've got some really cool form stylers. So they don't include a form builder, but there's form stylers. So if you're using WP Forms, I have a video on that coming out very soon. It will help you style the form to make it look how you want it. And it will work with the free version of these various form builders. Okay, social elements, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so right here I have the plugin installed on my website, but I haven't activated it yet because we're going to take a baseline speed test. So I have a couple tabs of GT metrics on. Now, there's nothing installed on this website, so this is literally the homepage right here. So let's do like a baseline test, and so this is with Elementor installed, and Elementor Pro, which you just saw, but it doesn't have essential add-ons activated. So what we're going to do now is we're going to see what the requests and the page size is without this plugin activated, and then what it is with this plugin activated. Now, I have a really good quality hosting service. It's Cloudways, and I'll put a link in the video description box down below to a tutorial on Cloudways. So as you can see, the page loads unbelievably fast, but it's also because there's like nothing on it, right? And so we have our really low page size and requests. Now I have GTmetrix opened up on a couple different tabs, so I'm going to leave this here just so that we can see this as a baseline for comparing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on activate right here. Okay, now it's activated. Now this plugin requires the free version to be installed and activated as well, but if you just straight up upload the pro version, what's really nice is it's going to automatically put the free version in there for you, just to add a one less step that you have to go through. So it's going to add this menu option right here, essential add-ons. And now one thing I really like about this plugin and what it does is there's a menu system here, but on this tab right here, it's elements. And I've already actually toggled them all on, but you can choose which elements you want available to you when you are inside the Elementor editor. This just helps remove the clutter and also helps with load time and performance. But I'm mostly interested in this feature to remove the clutter, because the reality is this is going to add, what, 60 different new elements? You don't need those 60 elements. You probably only need like 10 of them. So why even have the ones you're not going to use active and showing there? It just adds to the clutter. So this plugin allows you to turn the various modules and elements off that you have no intention of using. So for example, this site doesn't have WooCommerce, so I'm going to turn this WooCommerce one off right now. And anything WooCommerce related, I'm going to turn it off. Here's the form style elements. Well, I'm not going to use pretty much any of these. I'm probably, if I was to use one, it would be WP forms. So there, now I've just removed some of the clutter. Let me click on save settings right here. And there we go. It's saved, and now it's going to run a little lighter. Now there's also what they have called extensions. And these are going to add additional options in the advanced tab of the modules and the sections and the columns inside of Elementor. So you can choose if you want those on or not. And these are going to be your parallax, particles, and advanced tooltip. Now for me, like I said, I wouldn't be using the particles feature, so I would probably turn this off. But for this video, I will leave it on. And lastly, there's a tools option here, and this is going to allow you to clear any caching that the plugin adds. And so this will clear it and regenerate it all for you. And obviously you have your license activation right there. Okay, so now that this is activated and I've activated the elements, let's go ahead and do another speed test performance. And we'll see if this is going to determine if the plugin is activated, but you're not using any of the elements or add-ons on the page. Does it add additional requests and page size? So I'll go ahead and paste the same URL in a different tab. So this is doing its test. This is our baseline, and this is doing its test right here. So if the plugin's doing what it should be doing, and is performance optimized and they're paying attention to performance, it should be nearly identical. Load time will always be different. You can test your site 10 times and that load time is going to be a little different. Okay, so here it is with the plugin active, and here it is with the plugin not active. You don't see anything happening other than, wow, it's actually identical. What you see different is this. So right here, this is our baseline. It was done at this time. And then here is 4 minutes later in this video. So that's how you can tell the difference. So what we've just determined is if you are not using essential add-ons on a particular page or post, it loads nothing. There's no performance impact at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and create. Okay, so I'll go here to pages and I will add a new page. And let's just call this one Essential Add-ons or something like that. And I've typed my title in, published the page, and we can click on Edit with Elementor, and we'll just jump right on into the Elementor interface. And what's going to happen is as I scroll down here, you're going to see all the new elements that it adds. And here it is. It's underneath Essential Add-ons, and we have all of those modules that it adds. Now, it doesn't make sense in this video for me to go through every single module and what it does. If you use the Elementor, you're used to all of these modules. You're used to using modules. You're used to how the settings of modules works and all of that. Let's just go through some of the ones that I like and I think are useful. So I like this right here, Advanced Tabs. I think the Tabs module in Elementor it's not very useful style-wise. I mean, if you want something basic, it's nice, but it's not something I would use. I would need, and it's the reason why I haven't used the Tabs module. I just don't like what it offers. So Essential Add-ons takes it up a notch. So you have different options. You could go horizontal or vertical. You can add icons as you see. You can do different styling. The contents of a tag or of a tab is what is very nice. So if I click here, this is one of the tabs right here. And here's where I can choose some of the settings. But check this out. For the content type, I can use just some content I type in, or I can use the saved template. That is such a convenience feature. So you can just choose a saved template, and that's how you can pull in the content, some stylized content into these various tabs. I really like that feature of it. Now let's take a quick look at the advanced tab, because I was showing you how there's those, I forget the word it used, but there's the particles and all that kind of stuff in the tooltip. So right here, we have our tooltip option. If I wanted to add a tooltip here, this is where that tooltip would be added. Okay, so that is one of the modules that I think I would personally use. They have a menu. So if you're not going to use Elementor Pro, if you're using Elementor Pro, I'd use their menu if you're trying to create a custom header and footer. But if you don't plan on it, you can use this module right here and create a menu. And there's various styles for it. So let me, well, they call them skins. So let's see, I do have a menu. There it is. So here's a skin. And then here's a skin, and you can go through the various skins, and I kind of like them. I like the various skins, and I like that they have this skin concept, so I don't have to sit there and make every decision on how I want this to look. They've kind of figured out the ways most people want them to look, and then I could just go through and choose the one that I like the most. So, and it could be any of these. So let me go to skin 1 right here. Actually, I like the default. I thought that would be kind of nice, a kind of a under the logo menu option right there. And you also have horizontal and vertical options. So this is your vertical option. Here's your horizontal option right there. I like that so far as well. It's nice that that's added. Let's take a look at a few more of these, and then we'll do like a performance speed test. Obviously, I'm just loading up a bunch of these on this page. Now, I'll list through some of the ones that I know are not in Elementor or Elementor Pro that are unique in that regard. So there's a content ticker. This is, you see this a lot on news websites where it's showing you some news flash type of thing. There's a content timeline. I like the countdown timer. Now this was actually in the free version of this. And so it's your typical countdown timer where you put a due date and you have some stylized settings. And there's this nice option here that says expire action. And so this is what happens when the countdown reaches 0. You can have there be a message or a redirect to some other page. So this is very useful if you wanted to put a countdown timer on some kind of a sales page or sales letter or something like that, and it will do the redirect. Or right here, you can have it show some saved template. I like that option as well. Okay, so that's a countdown timer. Now that's in the free version. I'm surprised. It's very useful. So there's a creative button. This is actually something I don't usually see either. So you can have the text change on hover. So this is the primary text, and then this is on hover. Now you don't see it doing anything yet, but if I click on style, here is the various ways that this style can be implemented. So I can choose something here. So now when I hover, we see an effect. Wait, there was one of these where there it is. I hover and then it just changes to what that secondary text is. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's actually very cool. So there is the button, and I'm going to scroll down. So we just have so many things here. There's a tables element. I don't find the tables element in any plugin actually useful. There's another one that allows you to import a CSV to create a table, but I just find tables in Elementor a very frustrating experience anyway. So we have features list, fancy text, galleries, flip boxes, a lot of these things that you might have already come across already. Now the Instagram feed is pretty unique so that you can dynamically pull in images from your Instagram feed. Here's that light box that I was telling you about. Let's take a quick look at that. And so you can style your button and then you can decide what happens when someone clicks on it. So right now when I click on it, it just shows this. But if I expand content, I can have the pop-up show an image, a video, content, a save template. But what's also interesting is a custom HTML. And I forgot to mention on the link, it can kind of pull in the content of a page on a different website if you wanted to. So if I wanted to pull in the content of a different website of mine in the pop-up, you could actually do that with this link option right here. It's a pretty unique setting. So if I just choose this, it has a default video and then that would change. So now let me click on there and it does a video like that. So that's pretty cool. There we go. And we have settings so you can control what happens, how someone closes it and opens it, animations and all that kind of stuff. So you get all that control over that pop-up. Okay, so we're running towards the end of this list now. The interactive cards, the pop-ups, off-canvas menu, that's actually pretty cool. That one-page navigation with the dots, that's very cool. So it makes it easy to do anchors. So if you wanted someone to go to a certain part of the page, makes it super easy to do that. You have various grids, pricing tables. I did like the progress bar. Let me show you that really quick. Now, this kind of progress bar, not that interesting to me. That's a line, but there's other ones. There's circle, full circle. Check this out. Here's what a half circle looks like. This is unique. You don't get this in normal Elementor. And then here's another version of it. You don't get this in Elementor either. And then a box. Actually, I haven't seen that. I think that might be in Elementor. Maybe not. And then a line rainbow. Okay, I wouldn't use that. But I do like the circle half full like this. This I think is really cool. Okay, let me just take a last glance at this to see any standout modules for you. Oh, here's that protected content. That's a standout. And this will be the last module we look at. So it's the same as concept as the other ones where you can have it be content or a saved template. And then here we can choose our protection type. So it could be based on a user's role or it could be based upon a password. Pretty cool. What would also be neat if they added the ability to have it be unlocked with a social share. I would like to see that so you could protect the download. That would be pretty cool doing it with a social share. Doesn't do that right now, but that would be an interesting thing to ask the developer to add. And we have some Twitter feeds and testimonials and stuff like that. So these are all, just your Elementor things. Now, I've added a crazy amount of elements to this page. So we're going to, the baseline is fine. Let's just see what the performance is with this page. This probably is not going to be the most conclusive test right here. But I think the important one was showing what happens when you're not using it on a page versus when you are using it on a page. So I got all kinds of stuff going on here, all kinds of content and different actions happening. I've got menu bars, and of course I have this pop-up that loads the video. I got a lot of stuff going on. So I am going to do a third GT metrics. Actually here, I need to do it on this particular page. So let me go here. Let's do that. There we go. And analyze it. Actually, this is probably not going to be so conclusive, but it's going to let you know if you're using Elementor on this page and you're using these additional modules from Essential Add-ons, what's going to be the difference. So, or just what's it going to look like? So you can see right here that my page size has gone up a bit for using them. And some of this is actually default Elementor stuff. So if I was to create a normal Elementor page and then add these, the difference would be less dramatic. And we're up to 30 requests. Actually, just for sake of this video to do it right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into Elementor. And I'm going to restore a template, and then I'm going to just do a test on that. And then I'm going to do a test with just adding 1 or 2 of these elements just so we can see the difference. So what I'm going to do is click on templates. I'll choose one of these Elementor ones. How about this one? It's just as good as any. I'll go ahead and put this in, and I'll clear out all these elements. There it is, just a real simple template. And then let me go ahead and delete out all that. So I deleted out all the essential add-on stuff. And then let me go ahead and just save this. And then I'm going to go here. I will run this test again, and it should update that thumbnail image. And then we'll do another test with 1 or 2 of the essential add-on modules. Okay, so here's the results without using essential add-ons. But using this template, it's got a bunch of images and all that, and that's what makes this size really big. And the requests are 57, and the speed to the time it takes to load the page has gone up. Now, mind you, this is no optimizations at all. I would optimize my website. Okay, so I'm going to go back here, and now on that same page, I'm going to go ahead and add let's just add a countdown timer, since I seem to like that a lot. So here's my countdown timer. Why don't I just add it right there in the middle? And there it is. I'll just leave it the way that it is. I'll click on update. And so here is the version without the countdown timer. Let's do a test with the countdown timer. So it's going to be the same page, and the image that's generated should show that countdown timer. So this will just show you what the performance impact is of using one of their modules on the page. I don't even know, but there we go. We've got our image. So we can see right here is the test without the countdown timer, without using essential add-ons. We're at 1.35 and 57. Here it is using it. We are, actually, there's no noticeable difference. There's no additional requests being added. There's no additional page size being added. And this changes based upon how many times I was to do a search. Look at that. That's actually kind of impressive. I would have thought there would have been an additional request or additional page size. It looks like it's not adding anything to it. Now, I'm obviously only using one additional module from this package. We could keep using additional modules to see what it ends up doing, but it looks pretty well performance optimized out of the box if you ask me. So if this add-on package makes sense to you and it could bring features that you want to add to your website, visit WPCrafter.com/essential add-ons, and I'll have a link down below. Now, I will give you a little bit of advice here. I don't recommend adding multiple add-on packages just to get one additional feature here or one additional feature there. I think it's better to have as few plugins installed on your website as possible. But there's a couple things though. If it's your website and you wanted, for example, with me, I would like the advanced tabs. I could maybe live without that versus installing one additional plugin just for that one thing. I could probably live without that. However, if you're making websites for clients or for particular projects, sometimes if you have to have that additional functionality, you're going to have to add the add-on that has it unless you want to sit there and custom code something, and that's something I'm not interested in myself. But you might be interested in yourself. But the point is, you probably don't want to be adding a bunch of different add-on packages to your website. You want to keep it down to a minimum. So you want to look at the features that this gives you, the additional capabilities, and make your decision based upon that, as well as performance. Now, I will say, when I was doing the performance tests, I had an idea that they would be good, which we saw. next to no performance impact. And that's because they spent the developers of this plugin literally spent the last 2 months making sure everything was as performance optimized as possible based on some discussions a few weeks ago or a few weeks prior to that where there was some issues with performance. So they took the criticism seriously and then they got to work, and I think they did a good job. It was nice to see me using that, and there wasn't an additional performance impact. So I hope that answered any question you might have had about performance and the performance impact of this plugin. And like I said, go there and toggle off the ones that you're not using. Anyways, that's all that I have for you in this video. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section down below. Remember, those links are in the video description box. I want to ask you right now, if you appreciate videos like this, help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, click on that notification bell. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.